y'all. Welcome back to another episode, BOP, talking Texans football today. The boys are back in town. This is your boy AD. We got Bav in the building and Leo in the building. What up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Hey, what's up, man? Good to be back.
What's up,
Yes.
bro?
So today we're gonna talk about the news and notes of the day. Let's talk about the little injuries or whatever injury bug that hit the Texans this week in training camp. Then we're gonna go ahead and give a game preview for the New Orleans Saints preseason game. The Texans' first preseason game. The Texans are back playing football this week, people. Let's get excited. Let's talk about it. So first off, let's talk about the injuries, news, and notes. Kenyon Green is having a knee issue. Lovie Smith didn't give a specific title of what the injury was or what he's dealing with. I'm assuming, as most of us are, is that it's something dealing with his off-season surgery, which we don't know exactly what that surgery was. It's kind of vague as well, but it looks like it's not going to be a long-term issue. Lovey said that he should be back at some point, but didn't give a timetable, but he never specifically said it was going to impact him in the season. Another injury, Christian Harris has a hamstring injury, but it looks like it's a week-to-week type thing. Maybe in a couple weeks he'll be back. And then you have Christian Kirksey, who went out with an injury as well. During, I think it was Friday's practice. He had an injury, he was out. Wasn't disclosed what the injury was, but doesn't look like it's a long-term lingering issue as well. And then you have Tegan Quitoriano, who injured himself the last few days. It looks like a knee injury, and there is no timetable on his return, or even if he does return, there's no timetable when he's going to be fully healthy, as far as that injury and what type of injury that was. And then you have Chester Rogers, who injured his knee in practice on, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. He injured his knee, and I think it was his second day out at practice, and he injured his knee. And he did not practice and hasn't practiced since. And there's no timetable on his return as well. But in good news, we got a football game coming Saturday against the New Orleans Saints, the Houston Texans versus the New Orleans Saints in NRG Stadium. About to let it rock, man. Let's get it going. What are you guys' thoughts about this game? What do y'all want to talk about? What are y'all expectations as far as what we're looking at, what we're looking for in this game?
Go ahead, Leo.
Well, I mean, we just want to see, some competent football, I guess. This is going to be our first time seeing Pep, seeing Pep as an OC in like 10 years almost, right? It's been about 10 years in the NFL. So we want to see, that, also just, the depth pieces, on the team. As far as I know, we were talking before we started recording about, just the offensive line and, so I guess maybe we should just start there, right, guys? So we don't think we know Tunsil isn't playing. I mean, shit. So like, what y'all think? Where y'all want to start off with that, bro?
Yeah, I can start off with the offensive line. As far as offensive line, I think we all know that Tunsil may not even play this whole preseason.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. This is Laramie Tunsil MO. But and I don't think that Titus, because Titus has COVID, so there's a chance he may not play as well.
Mm-hmm.
Another news and note, forgot about that. Titus Howard on the COVID list, on COVID reserve right now. He's out. He should be back at practice this week, but I highly doubt that, with him coming off of COVID, he's going to go out there and play a football game on Saturday. So your starting two tackles are going to be out. Kenyon Green, as I mentioned earlier in the news and notes, he's dealing with an injury. He's not going to play. So 3/5 of your offensive line right now for sure probably won't play on Saturday. And then there's a chance Justin Britt may not play as well. So you're looking at 4/5 of your starting offensive line probably not going to play. So this, to me, gives a prime opportunity for those reserves and those guys that we're looking at to kind of the roster, fill in that backup role, because I don't think the Texans are going to carry more than 8 or 9 offensive linemen. So you're talking about literally 3, maybe 4 spots available, for 6 or 7 guys.
Mm-hmm.
They're fighting it out. You got the tackle. I think the tackle position is pretty solidified, along with Charlie Heck. And even if they carry an extra tackle in Obwehi, I think he's been looking pretty solid. He's going to be all right. But I'm not worried about the tackle position. It's more in the interior.
Mm-hmm.
The McCrae's, the Jimmy Morrissey's, the Max Sharpings.
Right.
Yeah.
I think maybe even Deculus as in guard. I want to see how he works out. We have other players. I think Quisenberry as well, one of those Quisenberry brothers who's playing guard as well. Those are pretty much the primary interior guys that I want to be on the lookout. And I've spoken about it, quite frequently about the offensive line. Those guys, we kind of to me the interior, as we talked about in previous episodes, interior offensive line has been one of the weakest spots for the Texans. And you want to see what's behind, I'm gonna just say it, AJ Can and Justin Britt, who to me is still uncertain at this point, and maybe we can find a gem in one of those few guys that I named previously, to come in and eventually take over that spot. So I want to see improvement from that interior offensive line. And with that being said, I want to see an improvement in the running game. What is it, like Leo said, Pep Hamilton's scheme, and it's, run heavy. It's been talked about throughout camp about it being run heavy. Are we going to have a competent running scheme first and foremost? And do we have competent running backs with Damian Pierce, Marlon Mack, Darius Anderson, Dare? I never can pronounce his last name.
Mm-hmm.
Dare as well. So you have that. And how does the Texans offense implement the fullback? We have 3 fullbacks on our roster. So how do we implement that, fullback room? Since we have so many, I think this is the first time I've ever seen that many fullbacks on the Texans roster. So how is Pep's scheme actually going to use this fullback? But what are you guys looking for as far as the offensive line and running game?
I just had a quick question, AD. Did you see Deculus playing any guard? Like, did you see him playing inside at all?
Honestly, I did not. But because of the injuries, it wouldn't surprise me if he slid in at guard at some point. Honestly, he's been playing strictly on the right side, right tackle on 13.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised if they moved him in just to kind of get a look in his preseason game,
Mm-hmm.
what he looks like at guard.
Yeah. Because I think obviously Deculus is like a career right tackle. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what he did all throughout college. You know what I'm saying? And did it on a really good football team. I think probably because Howard and Tunsil will be out. Do you think Deculus is? Where does Deculus get put in? Then he's just going to be technically second team.
Yeah,
when it comes against the Saints. Okay.
He more than likely he's going to play for sure the second half, the whole second half.
Yeah.
Maybe even 3/4, depending on what they want to see with Heck, if they give him a lot of run or not. But Deculus for sure is going to play at least 2/4 or more.
That's great. So do we know if AJ Can's playing or not?
I think he would be the only one to play.
That's gonna be my big spotlight when watching the run game. When the offense is on the field, I'm pretty much just gonna be watching AJ Can. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be like, okay, like why did we bring this guy in? Because he played miserably against the Texans, right? Okay.
Right.
So if he can help the run game, great, and hopefully he can do it in the preseason. But we are going against the 7th ranked defense from last year, right? And you can't get into the top 10 in the NFL unless you're coached well, right? Okay, so even the backups are going to kick ass. So who's Leo? Who's that? Maybe he's not Leo. Who's that? Is it Davenport? You always talk about.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Davenport. But yeah, I don't even know if they're gonna play, obviously. But bro, they have 2.
If they play,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have even
Yeah.
if Davenport. I mean, but Peyton Turner probably for sure is gonna play. He's
Yeah.
second year coming off an injury. He's built like a Davenport. And then
Yep.
they got who's up? They got Granderson, Carl Granderson, who I mean, it seems like every Saints fan has been talking about how he came in. He gained like 20 pounds, so he's like
Yeah.
255. And
They
so,
also drafted Jordan Jackson, the edge out of Air Force,
oh yeah,
who's just the same exact mold
yeah.
as
It's gonna
the
be it's gonna be a test, man. I mean, even with the backups, like we're gonna see, I mean, we'll see. We'll get a good look of like our own guys, So
yeah. So, and that was a good point, AD, about the fullback. You know what I'm saying about your fullbacks, because who was we had one of the Quesenberry brothers as our fullback last year.
Well, no,
Who was our fullback last year?
we didn't have a fullback last year.
Oh, okay, we had somebody I think on the practice squad.
Yeah, he was on the Quisenberry was on the practice squad.
Oh, okay.
He didn't.
Okay,
I don't think we
he
ever
didn't
had.
play.
Yeah, we didn't ever have a fullback on the active roster.
So I mean, we paid Janovich like, is it like $4 million a season?
4 million. Yeah, I think it's 4.25 million.
So how has he looked in training camp? Like, have you seen any resemblance of like versatility or usage that's going to come out of Janovich early?
I haven't seen it. I think that this is something that they're going to work on, because I think they're trying to implement some of the basics.
Yeah.
And then I think when it comes to utilizing the fullbacks and utilizing them different ways, I think they're going to implement that later on.
Yeah.
You don't pay a fullback $4.2 million and don't play him.
So I think that the main thing I'm looking for, whoever is a projected starter that's going to play for the Texans, I'm looking at that. But then, Lovey has always said that they want to be too deep at every single position, like at every single roster spot that you have listed on a roster. You'd love to be too deep and feel really good about both of those guys. So, no matter who we're going to see on the field, as far as like blockers or offensive linemen in general, you're going to assume that is either the starter or the immediate guy they would like to have out there on Sundays if the starter goes down, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if one of those is just looking like ass, you got to just be like, all right, like what's the deal, Lovey? You holding up your end of you holding up what you're talking about, right? But anyways, so interior of the offensive line is what I'm looking forward to the most. At tackle, I truly, even though there's one particular player on the offensive tackle group that I'm not a massive fan of, I do think that the offensive tackles are like the strongest point of the offensive line, obviously, and we're probably too deep at each of those, really, So yeah, AJ Can, like, that's going to be my guy that I watch, and then probably Janovich. Like, I want to see a lot from those two players just to justify, like, why the hell did we bring these guys in on those contracts, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And just before Leo goes, just two two practice squad potential guys on that offensive line, especially offensive tackle, is Byron Cunningham, who's a rookie, and then Trevor Wallace Sims, him as well. He's an offensive tackle. Those two have been pretty decent in camp, and I think they may end up making a practice squad for the roster. So
are you basing that off of like what you've seen in one-on-ones?
In one-on-ones as well as in team drills as well. They've been consistent. Cunningham has been the most consistent between those two.
Yeah.
And Trevor Wallace, I think it's Wallace Sims or Sims Wallace.
Yeah.
Him as well has been, pretty solid. But Cunningham as a rookie, he's been kind of surprising as far as on that offensive line as a rookie at tackle. So I want to look at those two and see what they do. Probably, third, fourth quarter. What are they looking like on the offense?
Nice.
Yeah.
So other than that, since we're just talking about offense, let's talk about that tight end room. And let's give credit to Bab, hand clap to Bab. He called it out. Seth Green,
Yeah.
University of Houston, tight end, has been showing out, and a few days has been the best tight end on the field.
Yeah.
And Brevin better than Farrell. It was especially that first Saturday practice. He was the best tight end on the field. He outshined all of them, and he's had many of days like that, even from reports. Seth Green, I think, is going to make this roster.
Mm-hmm.
With the injury to Teagan, off the back, and Seth has been more consistent, and him being able to play in the preseason game is going to kind of highlight, people's eyes. I'm really, really excited to see him and even see Brevin and Farrell. I want to see what those guys look like in that two tight end set. Farrell has, improved a lot as far as in camp. He slimmed down just today. The story came out. He slimmed down from 280 to 262.
280. Can you believe? I don't think he was ever 280, but whatever.
No, I believe it. Farrell Brown is a big human being, a humongous being. He is a legit 6'6", 6'7", probably 6'8". Hell,
He's pretty tall.
he's tall, and 280 on him wouldn't look, he wouldn't look out of place, but you can tell as far as how stiff he was and how slow he was last year. But him that way and him looking as slim as he's looking, I'm not saying he's gonna be all pro Farrell, but I think he's gonna be better. He's gonna put out a better product on the field than what the hell he put out last year.
Yeah. Man,
So,
there was I took my dad to camp, I think on one Tuesday, and man, Seth Green really was making a lot of plays. There was one play where he cooked Petrie, man, up the seam pretty bad.
Yeah.
So I mean, there was times where it honestly kind of seemed like him playing so well, it kind of made Brevin kind of step up. So like there was a point in, like, what I'm saying, like, team drills and stuff where, like, bro, I mean, it was between, like, whenever Brevin was on the field, Brevin was cooking, and then the next series Seth was, like, cooking as well. So yeah, man, I think I wouldn't be surprised if he made it. I think he will make it. You know what I mean? He definitely looks like he could possibly be a gem.
So my thing with Seth Green, to kind of halt anybody getting too excited about this, is he's a former quarterback, right? And they exclusively played like Wildcat at where did he play? It was the Gophers, Minnesota, right? And when he transferred to U of H, they moved him to tight end like immediately, right? And I gotta say, if you want the full Seth Green experience, and why I'm like such a me personally, obviously I'm a homer. I went to U of H, go Cougs, but like you gotta go watch Houston versus Cincinnati from last year, because the first three plays are Seth Green taking the defensive end and just eliminating him from the pass rush. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn, like that's not even his bread and butter. His bread and butter is him as an athlete, getting open, using his shoulders. You know what I'm saying? Just being open, right?
Yeah.
Seth Green's biggest strength as a tight end is over the shoulder catching.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
that's not surprising, because that one I was telling you about, he got Petrie over the seam, like he literally caught it, like,
he's got great
his
vision on the move. He's got great vision on the move. Yeah. So I think, at the very least, he's a pretty damn good backup for Brevin Jordan.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like if you're missing Brevin, he's like he's your Walgreens brand Brevin Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Right.
Yeah. So, let's keep the offensive train rolling. We talked about the tight ends. We talked about the running game, what we want to see. Let's talk about the receivers. Now, we know Brandon Cooks it hasn't been announced, but we can, just like Titus Howard, we can almost book it that Brandon Cooks is not going to play. So I think, for me, I want to see, what does the receiver room look outside of Brandon Cooks? And has Nico made the jump that, he's flashed in camp? But with Nico, it's about consistency. And,
Mhm.
you know, I'm gonna be honest, the only thing consistent about Nico in camp is that he's been staying after practice, working out, trying to, work out his craft. That's been the most consistent thing with Nico. He's had great days, spectacular days, and then he's had, you know, really, really bad days where he's dropped the ball, seems like running the wrong route, not getting enough depth on his route. Things like that have occurred in practice, in training camp.
Mhm.
Consistency for Nico. But as far as outside of, other than Nico, you know, what about the two Chris's, Chris Moore and Chris Conley? What do they look like? Philip Dorsett, is he, you know, going to take over that slot position, or is it going to be a battle between him and Chris Moore, who played
Yeah.
in the slot in training camp? And then you got your rookies, Estrada, Johnny Johnson,
Mhm.
second-year player Chad Beebe, or I think his second or third-year player Chad Beebe, Connor Weddington, second-year player. All these different receivers, do they make an impact?
I don't mean to interrupt you, AD, but man, I want to kind of put a negative spin on this. I want to be so underwhelmed by what we see from the receivers that the Texans feel obligated to actually fill the void. You know what I'm saying? From having, because you got, like, let's be serious for a second. We are putting Brandon Cooks on this pedestal of, like, here's our elite receiver. Who the fuck else thinks that in the NFL, that like Brandon Cooks is like this elite receiver, right? Now he's
Right.
great. He puts up the numbers like kind of by default, right? Because he's like pretty damn good, right?
Mhm.
No one is like shaking in their boots to go up against Brandon Cooks. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just not who Brandon Cooks is. He's an elite second receiver on a very good team, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So you're asking to supplement a second receiver spot with a second year player in Nico, who's a third round draft pick. And yeah, the Texans can hype him up all they want. And we know that he's going to be a pretty good receiver, right? You're
Yeah.
hoping that like Nico Collins is doing what Chris Conley did last year. Like that's what you're hoping the jump is, right? And none of us right here off the top of our head can tell us like what Chris Conley did last year. You know what I'm saying? But you're hoping to see that type of production, right?
Mhm.
Right? But bro, where's the other one? Where's the other receiver that's like separated from that pack? Because I feel like your A tier is Brandon Cooks.
Mhm.
And then your B tier for the Texans is like Chris Conley, Chris Moore, Nico Collins, Dorsett, like everybody else. And then you got this C tier of a bunch of like undrafted free agents and, you know what I'm saying, road warrior wide receivers, right?
Yeah.
There is one household name, and it's Brandon Cooks. You know what I'm saying? And really, that's the only household name as a receiving threat. Everybody else is like, you hope they're pretty good, you know? So I hope it's so unbelievably mediocre that they just go, okay, let's go. Something fresh, please, God.
Yeah.
And you can see this, you can sense that from them with the signing of Chester Rogers.
Yeah.
Because, if that wasn't an issue, or, those guys just outperformed and just showed out, and you wouldn't sign another veteran like Chester Rogers, another journeyman, if anything. So we will see. But what you
It's
got?
also discouraging that they can't figure out a returner situation, but
Well, I think that's pretty much figured out. I think they're just running around as far as like who's going to play there, who could play there. But I think your returners right now, and I think that was another reason why they brought in Chester Rogers, is your returners right now is Tremont Smith and Desmond King. And I think they wanted to either get Desmond out of that role or Tremont out of that role with Chester Rogers.
yeah.
But what you got, Leah?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's honestly, I mean, I was kind of, I was trying not to even say that and hope y'all forgot about the whole receiver subject, because it's just like so grim, honestly. And I
Mhm.
mean, in the event that like, Cooks goes down, God forbid,
Jesus.
we're asking Davis Mills to like, you know, box going into a boxing match with his hands tied behind his
Take
back,
the lollipop kids to
And I
the
mean,
it's like
it's not good at all. And I mean, I remember it makes me kind of think back to the whole Garrett Wilson rumors before the draft. Like, it honestly looking at this shit, it wouldn't have been bad if that ended up happening. But I mean, like, yeah, I think honestly at this point, it's so strange that like I can't even say, I can't really think of a move you can make that would really make sense that can fix it right now. So
Yeah.
at this point, I just hope that they all stay healthy, because like if specifically Cooks, but like also Nico, if a couple of these guys go down, like can y'all imagine another slot receiver going down? I mean, damn.
yeah.
So but I do think that that said, I do think that, this situation gives Brevin Jordan even more of a chance to like have a breakout year, because like you start really getting down to it. I mean, who would you rather on the field, Chris Moore or Brevin Jordan? Chester Rogers or Brevin Jordan. I mean, like, against certain teams, you might rather have Brevin Jordan out there. And, so I mean, that's one positive, I think he's a guy that, I want to see have a breakout year, because I think we need a good tight end, what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, the receiver, Johnny Johnson, I know like he made some plays when I was out there watching. It's just, man, this is kind of unacceptable.
Yeah.
There's no real way.
It's giving me like 2010, like 2009 era Texans vibes, where it was like you had Andre Johnson and then you had Kevin Walter, and Kevin Walter was just kind of like a thanks for being out here and blocking type receiver, but he was always the number 2, right? And then you had like Jacoby Jones, who sometimes could catch a deep pass, you know what I'm saying? Right. But like then it was just kind of a bunch of like dudes, you know what I'm saying? It was always just some dudes, right?
Yeah.
And I remember we drafted, I think it was Kevin Martin, I think was his name.
Yeah.
Dude from Michigan. And we
Michigan
thought we
State,
drafted the next fucking Julian Edelman or something. We thought we drafted, you know what I'm saying, the best slot receiver in the world. And he didn't turn out to be shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, it's one of those things, it's like, damn, we never helped Andre. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Until we drafted Hopkins. And then they played together like one season, right? So that's frustrating. I think what I would, if I had to look at it in a positive light, I hope they throw the ball to Nico like 70% of the fucking time he's out there. You know what I'm saying? That way it's like, Nico, go catch the fade. Nico, give me a comeback. You know what I'm saying? Nico, run a post. You know what I'm saying? Nico, run across the middle. You know what I'm saying? Can you drop your shoulder and take the blow? So, you want him out there and doing some bullshit,
Yeah.
Well, shit, yeah, not even to look too far ahead, but like how we were talking about the interior O-line needs to be revamped. That's something that they're gonna have to fix, because God bless Mechie and hope that he comes back, healthy, and obviously, his life is worth more than the team. But just like this is a bigger problem than even he can fix. And because like the truth is, Cooks is 28. He has 3 years left with this team. We don't. I have been on record saying I'm expecting like Nico to have at least what he had last year plus more. But we need to really start planning and preparing ourselves for life without Cooks. And so between that and interior O line, just the offensive line in general, that's something that has to be addressed in this offseason, because it's just I mean, it's just not good. The offense, like we don't have a dominant enough run game to like, be able to carry some shit like that.
What a good segue, Leo.
Yeah. We about to talk running backs?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
All right. Yeah.
Let's talk about Rex Burkhead, Rex is probably not going to play. Let's talk about Darius Anderson. Let's talk about Marlon Mack, Damian Pierce.
Mhm.
So the thing with Darius Anderson straight away, just to like clear the air, the judge didn't find enough evidence to, give a guilty charge to Darius Anderson. So he's okay. Hopefully he kind of like stays out of that business, But
yeah, all charges were dismissed. So yeah, all charges were dismissed. So he's free and clear of any legal issues or anything like that. And I think that to me that may have been a chip on his shoulder because he's been balling out this offseason.
They call him Juice, right?
Yeah.
Juice Anderson.
He got the juice, man.
Hey, I'm ready to see it, man.
Right.
And so is he a big guy too, or
they list him as 5'10", 220, right? 5'11".
Him and Damian Pierce are very, very similar in stature.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a more smoother runner than Damian Pierce. He's more elusive. Damian Pierce is a hard running, get to the hole quick, not much wiggle with Damian Pierce. Is hit the hole, get it, or make one move, hit the hole, get it, or something.
Yeah.
With Darius Anderson, he's more fluid, he's more patient as a runner. And he has a little bit more speed than what Damian Pierce has. But he's really shown out a lot in the training camp. But I really want to see what Marlon Mack is going to do.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to see the rookies, Damian Pierce and everything like that. But I want to see what Marlon Mack does. I kind of need Marlon Mack to play this game. Get a look at him. He's been limited in practice, a few reps here, a few reps there, and I feel like it'll be a disservice to him and the Houston Texans if he is treated similar to the Tunsil and Cooks and those proven guys and not playing and everything like that. Or because I'll be content even if he plays a series. If he touches the ball maybe 2 or 3 times, I just want to see him actually get live action, running the ball against another team.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see when it comes to the running backs at any point in the preseason games, I want to see 2 good running backs each game.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to see, if Rex Burkhead plays and him and Damian Pierce look good, what I'm saying? Like Rex is doing a good job pass protection, catching balls in the flat, running a couple draw plays. I feel good about that. If Damian Pierce is out there just stunting, like knocking dudes over in pass protection, I'm saying, getting a couple good power plays straight up the middle. Like that's what I'm looking for. I want to see like running backs with identity running plays that go with their identity. I don't want to see one type of run being run every time by every type of running back and it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to see, more scheme specific stuff per player. That's what I'm hoping to see just in general.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know what to say. I mean, I just want to see us it's same. I just want to see like some competent ass shit. I mean, it's been so long since I feel like we've been a physical team. I just want to see some goddamn resemblance of like us punching someone in the damn mouth. You know what I mean? And
it's been brain dead. Yeah, it's been brain dead running calls.
Yeah.
The shit has been brain dead. Like it's if every fan of the Texans can sit on the fucking couch and go, stop running that play, do something different, then why weren't the coaches seeing it? You know what I'm saying? So, they're making Pep seem like a really smart fucking dude with all the damn little pep talks and shit they're giving him on the Texans Twitter. You know what I'm saying, right?
Mhm.
But have y'all seen those, by the way?
Yeah.
Where he gives the short little like wisdom or whatever. It's like, well, damn.
Yeah.
Hopefully he takes that wisdom into the fucking run game, right? You know what I'm saying? Holy shit, man. That's where I want to see my pep talks, dude. Give me a sweep. Give me a fucking draw. Give me a delay. You know what I'm saying? Counter.
Yeah.
Damn. So yeah.
Well, I mean, it's hard to get worse than where we was. Be worse than where we was last year.
Well, you can't, right? But
And I think, bro, I can't lie, man. I mean, I know there's a lot of talk about Pierce, but like, I think that he's a definite improvement over what the fuck we had last year.
Oh, Pierce starts over everything we had last year. Maybe besides Rex Burkhead, unfortunately.
I mean, so like, I think that we'll see an improvement. I mean, how much of improvement is to be determined, but for sure, I want to see Pierce. I want to see Marlon Mack. Shit, everybody we just said. I just want to see us be able to goddamn just run the goddamn ball.
That's why I was saying I need to see two good ones every game.
Yeah.
Whether Darius Anderson's having a good game this week, or Dameon Pierce is having a breakout game the next week, or something like that. Like I think in a perfect world, you'd love to have Rex Burkhead feel like a really good third down back, right? Where he plays smart, he's in the right place at the right time. Just he's that kind of third down back, good for pass protection, good for catching the ball out of the backfield, all those things, right? Can run the ball pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
But then you would love for Dameon Pierce and Marlon Mack to be almost a tier above him and both be playing really well, to where you're having a hard time picking who's getting the majority of the carries, right?
For sure.
That's the perfect scenario for the running game, right? So how can we get a glimpse of that going into this game, right? If Marlon Mack gets 3 handoffs straight away and he busts it for 15 yards, you know what I'm saying, and 3 rushing plays, we are going to be saying some bullshit in the group chat. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be like, Marlon Mack is back, baby. Fuck the whole league. You know what I'm saying? Like, the league's in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Mills is gonna win the MVP because of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Right? So, but if he comes out flat and then Dameon Pierce comes out, busts a 22-yarder on his first run, we might go nuclear. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta see 2 of them do really well every preseason game. So that's my main goal.
Yeah. So we talked fullbacks already, right? So I guess we can make our move, to the defensive side of the ball. Let's start from the back end, bro. Let's start from the secondary, y'all. Y'all cool with that?
Cool. Yeah.
So
there's one big thing that stands out to me, if y'all don't mind, real quick. Man, okay, is Stingley gonna play?
I don't know. They're saying that they don't know.
What's your gut feeling? What's your gut feeling, AD?
I don't think he should play.
No, he's not.
No.
Yeah. I mean, okay, he hasn't been a full go yet, right?
He's been a full go. I just don't. I think they're going to be precautionary and just hold him out.
Yeah.
Man, I wanted to see Chris Olave versus Stingley so bad.
That would have been nice. That would have been really nice.
But okay, that's fine. That means we're going to get to see Chris Olave against Nelson at some point, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that,
to be honest, I think Steven Nelson may be held out too. I don't know if they're going to pull that veteran.
Yeah.
Whatever, guys are being held out, but hopefully he plays, because Steven Nelson he's been getting cooked a lot in practice, man. Like,
yeah,
you kind of want to see, because honestly, after Steven Nelson, it's a smorgasbord of who's who and where's Waldo type.
Yeah.
As far as Kendall Sheffield, Isaac Yiadom, who I think had the most reps outside of, if you want to talk about him, Fabian Moreau and Kendall Sheffield. Isaac Yiadom has seen the most reps out of all those 3, and all 3 of those are potential outside corner reserves behind Stingley and Nelson. So it's something you want to watch, and hopefully they show something. They're all veterans.
Yeah,
they've been in the league, 2+ years, for most of them, I think all of them, at least 3 or 4 years. So they've seen and done just about everything. So I'm really anxious to see what they're going to do. And then that safety room, you know, do we keep Eric Murray? Is Eric Murray on this team after training camp?
Yeah.
That's a question. How much is he going to play? It's going to be a testament and kind of a tea leave of what's really going to happen with him, because he's got, for him to be as veteran presence in that safety room as he is, he's gotten the least amount of reps out of all the safeties.
Good.
That's
I mean,
right.
that's a very replaceable player, and I feel like we kind of did it with the draft and free agency.
Right.
You know,
And so
because we got MJ Stewart and we got
Petrie.
Petrie,
Right.
who are almost the same exact player, right?
Yeah.
As
Eric Murray.
yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully we can, move on from him. But I'm pretty sure we're gonna see a lot of Petrie, a lot of Owens, a lot of MJ Stewart, and a lot of Terrence Brooks. Those four for sure. We're gonna see them play a hell of a lot in this defense. And one thing Lovey said in his interview, he likes smart safeties. And we always question, I think before this off season, during the off season, before the training camp and everything like that, even OTAs, we were asking, what do they see in Jonathan Owens? Why is Jonathan Owens, going to make, how is he going to make this roster? Why is he being talked about so much and everything like that?
Yeah.
The dude is probably just a smart player.
Yeah.
And he's probably his intelligence on the field has allowed him to actually seek playing time. You can just tell by the way he talks. They even had a clip today. I was like, I don't even know why Houston put that out there, with him talking with Simone about a pass breakup he had and how he should have broke a little bit faster and things like that. And I'm like, you asking her about it like she knows what the hell is going on. Like
that I feel like sometimes I'll play. I remember being back, goodness, I'm gonna just say a few years ago, so I don't say some bullshit and y'all start thinking I'm old. I remember a few years ago I was getting ready for my senior recital in college, right? So I'm performing hard pieces of music, and I was practicing, with my wife, and she was on FaceTime, and I was like, hey, just listen to me play this piece one time. And I'm asking her, I'm like, hey, like, what do you think? How do you think that was? Like, was that good? Do you like that? And she's just sitting there like, I mean, like, yeah, like you sound good. Like, I don't know how a damn professional university judge is gonna judge you or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, if I can kind of put myself in Owen's shoes, I almost kind of go, okay, like this guy's gears are turning even when he's making good plays.
Mm-hmm.
Bad players celebrate accidentally making good plays. Good players critique themselves on what they could have done better.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So if Owens is thinking about what he should have done better, I like that's the approach we all hope that our players are taking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like whenever some defensive backs break up a pass with both of their hands.
Yeah.
You know how fucking pissed I get every time I see that? I'm like, bro, if you can get both of your hands on the football, you better be fucking catching that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, golly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We talked about the back end. We're talking about the back end. But let's move on to the linebacker position.
Mm-hmm.
Where we're going to see a lot of players, French players, that are going to be fighting for roster spots. I don't think that. Well, I'm pretty sure Kirksey, Harris, maybe Kamu aren't going to play.
Which is the starting three.
Right. But we are going to see a hell of a lot of Garrett Wallow. We're going to see, a guy that, was pointed out in practice on Saturday was Tay Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Davis was flying around the field and he was doing a hell of a job. And, he made a lot of plays as well. So I'm excited to see Tay Davis. I think he can, if he plays well enough, he can crack that linebacker room. I want to see, everybody's talked about us signing Cashman from the Jets, and what the Jets fans are talking or saying about him. I want to see what he actually does in the game because he hasn't really shown much at practice. You got Reeves Maven, who's going to be there as well, veteran as well. And you got Neville Hewitt, who's a kind of wily veteran. So those are linebackers. I don't know if they want to consider Double O a linebacker, but he is a pass rusher. But I don't know if they consider him a linebacker, but him as well. All of these veteran guys that I really want to see them play.
Mm-hmm.
What they're going to bring to the team, and are you going to fight for your position? Because everybody that I just named, are fringe players for this roster.
Yeah.
So are you going to sit up there and fight to make this roster, or are you just going to say, hey, this, and that, I've done this, and that, and kind of coast and try to coast your way into a roster spot?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna see what y'all think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Kamu sitting out this game might be his ticket to the bench. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because if he's hurt right now and Wallow comes in there and fucks some shit up,
Yeah.
I mean, Wallow's already more athletic,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Wallow's more versatile as far as what position he can play and where he calls plays. He did it all through college playing Mike. They had him playing weak side some games, and he can play strong side. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
If Wallow goes out there and you play him at middle linebacker and he's calling shit and he's moving people in different places and shit like that, it's going to be the easiest thing in the world to say, Wallow, you get third downs with Harris. You know what I'm saying? Wallow, you get, you know what I'm saying? You get down and distant, second and long. You know what I'm saying? You're on the field, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's going to be the easiest thing to do that. Because while Kamu did a pretty good job, Wallow just has to beat pretty good.
Yeah. And he's shown that. He's shown that improvement, and he's gotten a lot of reps. And to be all frank and all honest, Kamu hasn't really done much of anything in practice, other than it's almost like he's just a body.
But remember why we brought Kamu in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
He's a really good special teams player. You know what I'm saying?
But then we go back to the question: how many special team players do we need?
Yeah, we got Reeves Maven. Yeah,
right. Who we're paying? I think about $5 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
Be primarily our special teams captain, and I think even like Blake Cashman is a special teams guy. So it's a lot of. I don't know how many special team players we're going to keep on this roster, because you look at Tremont Smith, who honestly is just a returner. It's almost like what's the receiver guy's name from last year? The returner.
Which one?
The one that we released early in the season. He ended up
Andre Roberts.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So Andre Roberts is another one. I don't want to just get an Andre Roberts just to return picks and then put him out there at receiver or something, or put Tremont Smith out there at cornerback just to be like, okay, he can play a little bit here and a little bit there, but
That's what I like. That's what I like about Desmond King's kind of reduced role as a defensive back.
Yeah.
Is that he legitimately is a good returner.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But okay, with the linebackers too. How many? Okay, I guess the main thing I want to see is where do they play Wallow? When Wallow first gets out on the field, where is he going to be at? Are they going to throw him immediately right in the middle? Are they going to play him at weak side? Are they going to play him at strong? Or where have they been playing him, AD?
Yeah, they've been playing him on the weak side.
Yeah,
that's where he's been playing. I don't know if they're going to experiment with him, because I think their experiment was Christian Harris playing middle and playing Garrett Wallow on the weak side next to him. And
wow.
they've been running more of a two linebacker set. than anything. You don't see,
Which we kind of saw that coming.
right. You don't see that many 3 linebacker sets. As far as what they've been running in teams, and even in 7-on-7 or individual, you don't see 3 linebackers. You see 5 DBs over 3 linebackers.
They did like I think there was this one thing that was like they were doing damn near super early, where they were kind of basically going over alignments when like people were motioning and stuff, and they did have 3 linebackers in at that point, but I just can't remember, like they were wearing different jerseys and shit, so I would think one of them was Wallow, but I can't really completely like guarantee.
Oh, like the walkthrough alignment.
Yeah, that shit.
Yeah, they always do that with a base 3 linebacker.
Yeah. So I mean, I'd assume that that I mean, it was definitely either Wallow or Hill. You know what I'm saying? But wait, Grugier Hill, whatever the hell.
Yeah.
But like, I can't really. I really should have took a video of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly what, because it was the ones and it was that. But I mean, I just it would happen so fast.
Yeah. But what do we think? What's the final number we said they were going to carry for linebackers going into the season?
It's gonna be about 6. I see.
Yeah.
6. So I see for sure Harris. I see Kirksey, Grugier Hill, Wallow. Those 4 for sure. Then that last 2 is Reese Maben is 5 for sure.
Yeah.
Literally, you have 4 or 5 linebackers battling for one spot. Which is
Shit, man.
so. Is it the take?
That'll be a good group to watch.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And speaking of groups to watch, let's talk about one of the groups that has been talked about endlessly from Texans Twitter, even on BOP. We've talked about it religiously of the defensive line.
Now, I think we should split this from edge and defensive tackle.
Yeah. Let's start. Let's go with the easy one first. Let's talk about the defensive ends.
Mhm.
We'll save the more tragic for last. The defensive ends, with Jonathan Grenard, who's been coming on lately a lot in practice. He was on, I think, wasn't he on PUP originally coming into training?
Yeah.
And then he came off of PUP, and he's, they've been gradually bringing him in. And like the last 2 or 3 days, he's been kind of flashing a lot.
Just coming unhinged on the fucking practice field, man.
So, with Jonathan Grenard, I think you got a solid, at the very least, a solid starter at defensive end. Then you got Hughes, who's been pretty, veteran presence, pretty good. Martin Addison, who's been a veteran presence. He, to me, has a lot of bend, especially watching him in the one-on-one drills. He has a hell of a lot of bend for him being 34 years old? He's like 34 years old, and he has a hell of a lot of bend. He looks very, very spry and young out there. And then, you got Rasheem Green, who is a versatile piece that they've moved inside and outside, kind of depending on the situation. But he's frequently there, and he's been pretty damn good as well. And other ends, Obu, yeah, Double O. Who I spoke about earlier, is I didn't know if they considered him a linebacker. But Double O for sure.
He's done some edge,
He's been on the edge. But I still think he's going to make the roster by default.
Yeah.
He's going to make the roster by default. I think, the 4 I spoke of at edge: Green, Addison, Hughes, Grenard. Those for sure are gonna make your roster at edge, and then Double O will probably be that 5th edge, 5th band. No disrespect to the other guys trying to make the roster, but they haven't really flashed or really shown any kind of promise or anything.
I mean, I understand there's no bona fide star yet,
right?
But that's a damn good edge group. And we fixed it really quick after the draft. You know what I'm saying? We really did. I mean, we were about to go into the season with damn guess who at defensive end, right? And then all of a sudden,
Jonathan Grenard and everybody else.
yeah, we got Rasheem Green and Addison and Hughes straight away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a great get for the trio of those guys. You know, it really reminds me of last year when we were like, fuck it, sign all the defensive tackles you can find, and one of them's going to work out, and it really did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And you know, we got, I think it's an Adedeo Odelehi. He's the guy, the foreign guy from UK. I'm intrigued on watching him and seeing what he's going to do.
Yeah.
You
They
know,
listen to him as a defensive tackle, which is weird.
yeah, he's a defensive end though, man. He's 6'5",
Yeah.
he's a defensive end. You know, so it's, you know, I just want to see what he looks like. He's very, very green, but he's a massive dude, man. He's compared to, you know, the other guys, he stands out. He stands out, you know, being that massive dude. I think if not, he is the tallest defensive lineman we have. We don't have a defensive lineman over 6'3", and he's 6'5", 6'6".
Wow.
You know, he is that, you know, huge of a human being. And, you know, I think the other one is Damone Harris, you know, but I just feel like he's just, you know, no disrespect, he's a training camp guy, maybe a practice squad guy. You know, but moving on to the defensive tackle, you know.
One quick thing, AD, I'm sorry. Whoever we're going to play on the edge and whoever gets some good playing, I would assume Rasheem Green probably gets some good playing time with us for a while, right? And Odo will get some playing time at edge, right? But they probably don't play Hughes or Addison or
I think those two are going to be out. I think for sure Jerry Hughes is going to be out.
Yeah,
I don't see the reason of playing him or Addison this game, but for sure Grenard, for sure Green, for sure. You know, I think what I said, Adedeo and Damone Harris, for sure those guys are going to see a lot of time. You know, especially the latter two, they're going to damn near play the whole game.
So the reason I was bringing that up is because, you know, they drafted Trevor Penning. The Saints drafted Trevor Penning. You know, so I'm, you know, I mean, apparently he's great. You know what I'm saying? Or apparently he's going to be great. But, you know, after we kick his ass one or two times, I'm trying to see which one of our defensive ends really has hands like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to see if they can turn old Trevor into a ghost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they better get ready for this man. Those who can't want to fight, man. Those who can't beat you want to fight, man.
Okay, we can go on.
Let's get back to the I don't even know what to say, man. This defensive line, this defensive tackle spot is going to be very interesting. It's been a topic, a great topic that we've been talking about for the last few days as far as defensive line. You got your defensive tackles, your starters. You got Roy Lopez and Malik Collins. Those two, as far as Malik Collins, I don't see him in this preseason game. I don't really see him playing at all. I think we're going to get a big dose of Roy Lopez. We're going to get a big dose of Ross Blacklock, unfortunately, and we're going to get a big dose of Michael Dwumfor and Kurt Henish. You know, these are the names. Thomas Booker, sure. Yeah, everybody we want to look out for. He is, you know, when they say, you know, big human beings, you know, he's
big as fuck.
He's like humongous, you know, like
talking about Henish.
No, I'm talking about Thomas Booker.
Yeah, Booker.
Oh yeah,
Thomas Booker. Yeah, he's built, man. I'm talking about cut up. You know, he's over 300, but he's built like he's like 260, 270. The way he's like, you know, cut up and you know everything like that. And he's strong, you know, strong as hell, but. That's the challenge, and that's something that I think that the Texans need to really look at in the waiver wire part of the season. After this first preseason game and in a first initial cuts after the second preseason game, is those defensive tackles, man. We need depth because honestly, outside of your starters, the depth is suspect at best. Ross Blacklock, I've said it, on the spaces. We've had arguments, debates about it. But in individual practice on Saturday and one-on-ones, I literally watched them move from left to right and center, and I've seen them do different moves, different ways they run the drills. Every drill in that one-on-one that Ross Blacklock participated in, he lost, and that was to Justin McCray, Max Sharping, Myron Cunningham, the rookie, stonewalled him a few times. Trevor Wallace Sims or Trevor Sims Wallace, you're talking about, now we're getting into the bottom depth of the offensive line, and you're not winning in a one-on-one individual rep.
Where the defensive lineman has the advantage.
Right. There's no help in these one-on-ones. It's literally him going against a guard, him going against a center, or him going against the other guard, or tackle one-on-ones, inside. So they got him going inside against the tackle, no help. They got him going to one-on-one with the guard straight up, and they got him going inside with the center one-on-one, no help. This is no help. There's no punch or nothing like that from the teammates or whatever. And I've said it, I said it on podcast, and I'll say it again. He had one flash play on Saturday, and it was against the third team offensive line where he made a move and he was able to get a sack in the team drills. Other than that, man, Ross Blacklock, to me, for him being a second, middle, I think it was a middle high second round pick, those picks at this point in his career, he's going into year 3. At this point in your career, you should be solidified as something, and I know I'm going on a tangent on Ross Blacklock, but it just goes a testament to the depth, the lack of depth that the Houston Texans have at the defensive tackle spot, that we're relying on Ross Blacklock to be a rotational piece, and he can't win against second and third string offensive line for the Houston Texans. Not second, third string for the Cleveland Browns or second, third string for Indianapolis Colts or anything like that. He can't win against the Houston Texans second and third team, offensive linemen, and that's a problem. Mm-hmm. Michael Dwumfor has outperformed him. He is, I think he's going to be kind of rotating with Roy Lopez at the nose position.
Yeah.
He is a shorter, bigger guy, 6'1", 300, but he is playing a little bit better than, of the other reserves. And, I want to see Thomas Booker get some action, and I want to see what Kurt Hennig is going to do, because they've been talking about him a lot as well.
Mm-hmm.
Coming on, undrafted defensive tackle from Notre Dame. So, somebody else that Bab, another hand clap to Bab, called it out, Kurt Hennig, guys to look out for.
So you still haven't mentioned the most important one.
Yeah, Damian Daniels, man. Damian Daniels.
Listen, Damian Daniels is not one of those types of players that shows up in training camp, that shows up on the practice field, right?
It's going to be game time. Yeah, Damian Daniels for sure.
When Damian Daniels gets his hands on those backup offensive linemen, bro.
Game time, man.
I'm sorry to those men. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry to them, right? So one big thing I wanted to ask AD before we kind of get on, have they really been playing two, like, I guess, gap shooting defensive tackles with Lopez and
that's what I've seen.
Yeah. They've been running. Now I do give credit to Roy Lopez. He does look a lot better. Even though he outperformed his 6th round draft status last year, he's playing. Let me put it like this. Roy Lopez is playing how I would expect Ross Blacklock to play as a 2nd round pick. Roy Lopez he's not lighting the world on fire, and that's okay. but he's consistent. He's consistent, and I think that's the biggest thing for the Houston Texans in general is consistency. You need somebody, because I mentioned it earlier with Nico Collins, is that Nico Collins has all the talent in the world, but the thing he lacks is consistency. And I think if we can get consistency as a team and keep guys and get guys in there that are consistent, you're bound to improve just based on because you're going to get the same thing every day, every play. And that's what you get out of Roy Lopez. Roy Lopez, he may not win all the reps, but he is going to win some reps. It's just the determination in him and him getting in that backfield, he's going to make something happen. And I do want to see what he does against the Saints offensive line. I'm pretty sure Eric McCoy and Cesar Ruiz are going to play for the Saints on Saturday. So I really want to see what he does against those two.
Yeah.
Starting guard and tackle. So I really want to see what the hell he does with those two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I haven't really seen too much Daniels when I was out there. Thomas Booker is fucking huge. I think a lot of these numbers, bro, and the angles you're at, like it's hard to actually see who's out there. But yeah, for sure, I'm gonna be watching now. Probably watching from home and definitely, really seeing who's on the field. So like, Thomas Booker is someone who I want to see, and like you were saying, Damian Daniels, someone that I wanted to see. I mean, but like Bab said, bro, like, it would I mean, hopefully he's a preseason camp shower, bro, and just like,
I mean, so Damian Daniels reminds me of someone who I played with when I played football, right? And it was a student named Anthony, right? And Anthony was he was 6'1". He was like at least 300 pounds. You know what I'm saying? So when you're that size in high school, bro, you are like Vince Wilfork. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're a dog, right? Okay, so Anthony couldn't win a one-on-one pass rep to save his fucking life. And I kind of played all of the linebacker positions, right? So they would blitz me off the edge, and they would have me play coverage in the middle. I was all over the place. It was like a package scheme, whatever, or game to game. And all the offensive linemen on our team respected him in the one-on-ones, and they knew that they were going to kind of stonewall him, but they were going to get pushed back 5 yards or whatever. But they knew that as soon as it came to putting pads on and we were doing our actual like running the ball drills and stuff like that, it was like, what is it called? Like 9-on-9s or something, like I forget what the technical term is for it, but it was goal line basically is what we were practicing, right? Mm-hmm. Man, he was taking the center and the guard and just smacking their heads together and shit and throwing them out. You know what I'm saying? Like he was just the fullback could have ran straight into his gut and he would have just picked him up, moved him to the side, and tackled the running back. You know what I'm saying? So like just shit like that. I feel like, maybe Booker turns into something kind of like that, but he wouldn't want to be. He wants to play 3-tech, like he's already come out and said it, right? Mm-hmm. But Damian Daniels might, and Kurt Hennish too, might be your best opportunities at having like a true stand-up nose. You're gonna always need one of those on the team, right? Yeah. You always need one. Like it's like it's like the same thing in basketball. You're gonna need a 6'11" or up backup center. You just you have to always have one. You have to have one, right? Like a big ass defensive guy. Doesn't have to be dynamic. That's why he's coming off the bench, right? But he's got to stop shit like in its tracks. And dude, I'm telling you, like the tape does not lie on Damian Daniels, right? When Damian Daniels is in, they're not going to run the fucking ball at him. They're not going to have any success at it, right? I'd love to see Damian Daniels get a snap against Ruiz. You know what I'm saying? Let's see who's like the real dog in the run game right there. You know what I'm saying? Like that would be amazing. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think as far as, so you don't think what's his name's gonna play?
Who? Collins? Malik
Collins. So Collins is not gonna play?
I don't think Collins is gonna play.
So who do you think's gonna start first team? Blacklock and Lopez?
Yeah, it'll be Blacklock and Lopez. Yeah, more than likely.
So what's a goal or something you're looking for from the defensive tackle position, for this game?
I'm looking for pressure. I'm looking for how they stack up against the run. Will this new evolved scheme of Lovey's, showcase them being better run stuffers. I'm looking for more of that for Roy Lopez than anything. And do the backup defensive tackles give way like the last year? You know what I mean? Do they give way? The Saints are a good running team. They even though they don't have Kamara back there, they're still going to run the ball. You're still going to see. I don't think you're going to see Mark Ingram, but you're going to see a few running backs coming your way from the Saints, and they're going to find a way to run the ball. So it's something that you need to be on the lookout as far as the defensive tackle position. I just want to see them be consistent. Consistent as their word again. I think that needs to be the theme.
Mhm.
BOP's theme, for this Houston Texans season is consistency.
Mhm.
Being consistent, and making plays and being consistent, stopping the run, and being able to provide pressure on the interior defensive line.
Right.
I think because of Rasheem Green's, and we've talked about this before, because of Rasheem Green's versatility to go
Mhm.
kind of play inside outside type deal.
Right.
So when you can bounce somebody like Rasheem Green down to the inside, it almost puts those defensive tackle roster spots at a premium,
Mhm.
right? So right now you'd only take 4, right?
If that, you may take 3 with, with the knowledge of you have Rasheem Green there as your fourth
Mhm.
in case of emergency or whatever. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I look at last year, the way that Lovey ran Malik Collins and Roy Lopez, there was not a lot of rotation at all.
Mm-mm.
It was them, and they rotated the hell out of the defensive ends, but they didn't rotate the defensive tackles hardly at all. And I think that's a problem as well. Is that if you're not rotating your defensive tackles, they're not fresh, what makes them weak later on in the game against the run. A lot of
Mhm.
games we look at the Colts with Jonathan Taylor and Nick Chubb with the Browns last year. They didn't really break out as far as running the ball until the end of the game or second half.
Mhm.
And
That's one of the things that makes me think, just like how you need pass rushers who are closers for games to seal your win. You need run stuffing defensive tackles to help you get back into a game where they're trying to burn the clock,
Right.
right? And if you're going Lopez Collins, Lopez is a pretty good run defender. Yeah, Collins is more of a pass rusher, right? Who is Collins' direct backup, and who is Lopez's direct backup? You know
Shit.
what I'm saying? And then who in that combination of people can you throw in there and feel good about having 2 guys plug up the run in the middle? You know what I'm saying? Like, do we have an identity for all 3 of those things? Starter, immediate backup for both of them, and who comes in and is able to put together a good run stuffing package?
no.
I mean, it's kind of tough. I mean, because honestly, no. But like, I feel like there's combinations of guys that you can kind of like you were talking about Green. I think Green and having double O is like kind of like helpful in that regard. And
Yeah.
then like we're saying, you hope Damian Daniels can, and then Booker. You know what I'm saying? And Blacklock. I mean, who the fuck knows? You know what I'm saying? Between Daniels and Kirk Hennish, and like you hope that one of them can win a spot on the roster. You know what I'm saying? And then like I think Booker just needs reps. Like I feel like someone with his athleticism and his size, him at the 3 tech, developing pass rush is gonna be like really, really kind of crazy because he's so big. Like he's almost big enough to play like a damn, the one technique. But like having, that kind of athleticism and size of 3 can like really, really be really disruptive, especially if you put him next to a big ass motherfucker like a Daniels. You could damn near have like 1,000 pounds of like, defensive linemen playing at the same time, which regardless of what anyone says, is hard to fucking deal with when people can move and shit. So I don't know, man. It's
Y'all,
tricky. You know,
y'all know about like when you go to goal line sets and you bring in. So like a goal line set for the Texans right now, who are you putting as your fifth defensive lineman? So it'd have to be Booker, right?
Yeah.
Or you're going Blacklock. You're going Blacklock as so you're going with a defensive front of Collins, Blacklock, and Lopez.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like that sounds like it's just not stopping shit on a goal line. You know what I'm saying? Like it just like who is like I almost want to say Booker would give you a better shot, right? But there's no dude beside. This is why I keep saying Damian Daniels. Okay, this is why I keep saying that. There is no dude on the Texans right now who is. I'm 100% confident about them being a great run defender.
Yeah. Man.
And I you know what? You know who I bet our best run defender is? This is some bullshit. You're gonna fucking people are gonna shit on me for saying this. I bet Petrie's our best fucking run defender. So you know that's the thing that's frustrating too. You know how I said that thing about the sorry, hold on a second. I got my like 20% notification. You know how I said I hope the wide receivers are so mediocre and it like puts a spark under us that we need to go get something or somebody for it.
mm-hmm.
Same thing I probably want to say about the defensive tackle position, where it's like, man, if there's not a big separation between Booker and Blacklock,
you go with the rookie. You go with
pick the rookie. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
And
you
then-
don't really lose shit if like there's no real money owed to Blacklock if he doesn't make it, right? Like,
no, go pick up a late draft pick for him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Go pick shit. Go give me a receiver.
Yeah.
Package him with a pick and go get a receiver or some shit, man. Fuck. But y'all see what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be too negative, but that's what I'm really what I'm looking for with the game.
I mean, unfortunately, man, I mean, that's just kind of, you have to be honest and just, that's where the team is. I mean, I mean, I'm happy though about, having Petrie and Stingley, you know what I'm saying, and the upside of Harris. And I mean, if Garrett Wallow can emerge as like, a guy that we could continue to build with. But I mean, I'm looking at this roster and C. Royal said some really good stuff on the space. It's kind of like because of the situation that Nick was brought into, like he kind of has had to build depth before, like actually building, like having high end talent. So like I think realistically, like some of these guys might end up being like role players for guys who we end up drafting early next year. Hopefully, what I'm saying.
Roy Lopez as a role player
is insane.
Yeah.
I mean, Booker as a role player. I mean, hopefully we haven't seen him play, but I mean, just with his with the traits, with the athletic traits and his size.
So what's a good defensive lineup that we're probably going to see early is Rasheem Green, Blacklock, Lopez, Obo.
Rasheem Green, Blacklock, Lopez, Obo. I mean,
I don't see Obo. I would say Hughes. To be honest,
Hughes is going to play.
Oh, you talking about
preseason
game? I thought you.
Yeah, for
no,
this next
I
weekend.
think for this one it's gonna be Grenard. It's gonna be Green, and then you're talking about Lopez and probably Ross.
Yeah. And then eventually, once kind of like second quarter, third quarter rolls around, we're gonna see more of like the, Dwumfor.
Yeah.
And then so we're gonna probably see Dwumfor and what's his name?
Kurt Henish.
No, our rookie draft pick.
Oh, Thomas Booker.
Yeah. So Dwumfor and Booker might be a fantastic duo to watch against second teams. You know what I'm saying? That might be a really great lineup on the interior defensive line. So those are I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, I'm excited. I really want to see Booker, man. I hope that he can really play well because
Booker was someone I was really high on before the draft, even.
Yeah.
So
and I'm just excited that football is back, man.
Yeah, man.
We walking into game week. We walking into 6 days away from an actual Texan football game. We've been hyping it up. That's how this podcast originated, talking about these Texans, man. So let's get on this excitement train, and let's hope for the best, and hopefully there's no injuries or anything like that. But let's see some actual live game action, and see how our evaluations are panning out. Our pre-evaluations for these players, and see if we see some gems even in the game that we didn't really see in training camp. But any final comments you guys have on the game on Saturday, or any expectations, any additional expectations or anything?
I mean, shit. If the first play is a damn Nico Collins 80-yard touchdown from Davis Mills, I'm gonna let that. I'm gonna let those Twitter fingers roll, man.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Mills, bro. I hope he plays his ass off, bro.
Yeah.
Because I'm all for the, not to turn this shit into Mills, but I'm all for the what I'm saying, he has to prove himself shit. But I mean, like when I hear people talking about arm strength and he doesn't have the arm, bro, like that. This dude was talking about his arm strength and then said he had the, like I said, he doesn't have a strong arm. That was a criticism, and then compared his arm to like Matt Ryan, and then like Drew Brees before he fell off. And I'm just like, so what you're saying is that that's not an issue. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I mean, I think that it's this idea that I think people are prejudiced against Davis Mills because of the idea that, like, you have to, you can't. I mean, a prototypical pocket passer is just like outdated. You know what I'm saying? It's like an old car, that doesn't have a goddamn touchscreen in the middle. I mean, it's like a fucking vintage thing that, but fuck that shit. I mean,
yeah, that arm strength comparison and everything. I'm like, it's almost like if you're not Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes, you got a weak arm. Like,
I mean, it's like y'all know, it's like, bro, like these are guys that have fucking like, like.
It's like these are like superhuman arm talents, right?
This is
like you're talking about Patrick Mahomes, the guy who came in and has now the strongest arm ever in the NFL, right? Okay, so like no fucking shit, like no other quarterback is gonna have that, right?
Like there's a video. You're talking about a video. You're talking about Patrick Mahomes. Well, there's a video of him actually throwing the football out of the stadium.
Yeah,
like literally throwing it up out of the stadium.
Yeah.
People don't realize, if you've never been to an NFL stadium, if you realize how freaking humongous an NFL stadium is, and for you to literally
throw that bitch
out of the stadium is utterly fucking ridiculous. So
I can't believe a football weighs enough to travel out of a stadium.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that is a fucking long ass. Yeah. I mean,
the fact that his arm didn't like detach from his body after he did that, it's like, I mean, the fact that he didn't hurt himself doing that shit is like, So man, I mean, I'm excited for him, bro. And
we're gonna have some good backups to watch too.
Yeah, don't forget the Kyle Allens, of the world. Let's be on point watching him and see how he is as the backup to Davis Mills.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, we see very, very limited of Jeff Driscoll.
We still got what's his name, right? The other one?
No, we released Kevin Hogan.
Okay.
On the team. So it's literally going to probably be Davis Mills a little bit, and then the Kyle Allen and Jeff Driscoll show after that.
Bro, I need to make a damn T-shirt that says "Pocket Passer Lives Matter." Like, goddamn, the way they act, bro.
Yeah. But other than that, man, this has been another episode of BOP coming at you live. With the gang is back, the boys are back in town, so we back on the ground running, man. Just expect some more content. Expect these week by week game preview videos to be coming, man. But also, please like, share, and subscribe. Follow us all on Twitter. Follow us all on Instagram. and follow us all on social media. Follow the Black On Podcast on Twitter as well, at BlackOn713. Go ahead and like the YouTube, man. Go ahead and like the page, man. Share. Tell everybody about it, man. We coming in hard, man. Coming in hot. All right, peace, man.